Waking up in the morning and knowing you have to take the bus to and back from school is one of the most stomach-aching feelings. Just the thought of having to potentially sit next to someone who didn't shower nor put deodorant on is horrifying. Okay, at least in the morning, just put on deodorant. Like, you're already tired, dreading the school day ahead of you, and now you have to sit next to someone who skipped basic hygiene. What's even more annoying is having to deal with people being loud in the bus at 7 in the morning for literally no reason. The day just started, half of us are still trying to wake up, and there are people over here blasting Young Boy in everyone's ear. I understand you're trying to wake yourself up, but is it really necessary to play it on a speaker? Like, get some headphones and let everyone else try and catch a little more sleep or whatever before we get to school. I'm not even sure how some people have that kind of energy that early in the morning to yell and do all sorts of crazy stuff. Like, I will go to sleep early and still be a little tired until halfway through first period. Maybe that's a me problem though. But people are having full conversations at max volume, yelling across multiple rows, and there's always somebody doing something loud on the bus for literally no reason. And you would think that since everyone is equally tired, there would be some kind of unspoken rule to just not be loud in the morning on the bus, but apparently not. There's not a lot more awkward things in life than trying to find a seat when the bus is packed. I think this was worse when going home from school, because when you have a class that's halfway across the bus area, if you're not sprinting through the halls, you are either going to be sitting on the floor or in someone's lap basically. It is such a terrible feeling when you walk up in the bus and you see a bunch of people staring at you in all the packed seats, and you gotta act all nonchalant while you try and find a seat that doesn't have 3 people already in it. That's the worst part too. I hate when it's a hot day and you're all trying to go home, but you gotta sit squished by 2 people. And let's be honest, by the end of the day, because everyone has been in the school building all day, maybe had gym class or spent a whole class period pooping, your nose is probably going to be cooked by the time you get off the bus. But what if I told you that you don't know when to get off? Okay, well, I'm sure you know personally, but there was one time my bus driver took us to a completely different neighborhood. I don't even know how that happens. I would assume they practice before picking up and dropping off everyone, but everybody on the bus was confused and added a whole nother hour because of all the after school traffic. Safe to say though, everyone's parents are pretty wary though. Speaking of bus drivers, you're either getting a chill one or one that's strict all the time. I was lucky enough to have a chill driver that was pretty cool, but with some people being loud and just disrupting the whole bus for no reason, I definitely understand why most are pretty strict, especially when people will start getting up for no reason. And it's like, bro, you're blocking the mirror the bus driver needs, sit down. What makes school buses so chaotic though is that people will really be fighting on them. In the morning, after school, people are just throwing hands for no reason. What never makes sense to me though is that you have all that time after or even before school, and for some reason, you are choosing to do this on a school bus. I'm not trying to promote this, and obviously don't do it, but if you're gonna do that, why is the school bus the place you're picking for a fight? Like, you're putting yourself in even more trouble for no reason because now it's on camera, the bus driver saw it, the school's gonna find out, and if you get clapped in the fight, you gotta move states at that point. Or, you know, like I say, just don't fight, we gotta be positive. I don't understand how it happens though. Like, you've got a bunch of people crammed in a tight space, people are screaming "World Star," and half the time, the fights are for the dumbest reasons. Because of all this, I don't get how some people would even be able to focus and do their homework. Like, it gets so overstimulating even with headphones, depending on the bus you're on. Even with sleeping, you might keep getting woken up every minute because of some of the bumps or from how loud some people are. Like, the people who can genuinely sit down on a school bus and knock out a full assignment are just built different, because I could barely hold a thought, let alone actually retain information and write something down. Like, imagine trying to do math homework while someone 3 rows back is having the loudest conversation of their life, and the bus is hitting every pothole on the road. And even if you have noise canceling headphones, the chaos alone is still enough to break your focus every 30 seconds because something is always happening somewhere on that bus that draws your attention. It's just not a good environment that your brain can actually think in. And like I said, sleeping is a little harder because you would close your eyes and maybe get like 40 seconds of actual rest before either a bump launches you out of your seat or someone does something loud next to you and you're immediately back to being fully awake. And some of the stuff people would bring on the bus is also something that added to the chaos. Like, there are people bringing full speakers, and we already talked about the loud music, but I don't get why some people felt the need to bring it on a school bus of all places. It really does make everyone's morning worse. And then you would have people bringing food that had diabolical smells that could clear out a nursing home. If you are a person who does this, just why? Maybe you couldn't eat breakfast in the morning, I get it, but bringing it on the school bus of all places where everyone is squished together, I mean, 1, is too crowded, and 2, it's, you know, low-key a nasty environment, but if you're hungry, bro, I get it. Missing the bus is also something that everybody who rode the bus has gone through at least once, and it is one of the most heart-throbbing moments of the morning. Like, you'll wake up a little later, come outside, and the bus is either pulling away or already completely gone. And either your parents will drive you while giving you a lecture, or you literally just don't go to school that day. I will say, depending on your school, it's so annoying when some of the buses are so inconsistent with the time they come. Like, they will either be 5 minutes early or 10 minutes late. The best part though is when it's a cold morning. Maybe it's just me, but having a hoodie and sweats and being able to comfortably sleep on the bus was dope. Like, I wouldn't even be mad at waking waking up because I knew I'd have a nice 20 to 30 extra minutes of sleep as soon as I stepped on the bus. Same with rainy days. These were a little more annoying, but rain in general is such a good noise to fall asleep to. Obviously, once it's time to get off the bus, you know, you're cooked if you don't have an umbrella, but everything else before that was top tier vibes. This is also much of a better feeling when it's a Friday or you have Christmas break coming up. There's no way to describe the feeling, you know, if you know, you know. I've never been a fan of the bus, obviously, but those times specifically brought such calm vibes. Those are some of the few good things because maybe it's just my area, but why do most school buses just have broken AC? Like, it's nearly 100 degrees in the summer and we're over here rolling around in the hottest condition of all time. Like, everybody is close together and there's no AC. I get schools gotta pay for other stuff or whatever they're doing, but please invest in AC for school buses. Is it really that hard to do? Like, genuinely, this is basically a safety hazard with how many times I've been on a crowded bus with no AC. What sucks too is when you're sitting on that already crowded bus and you'll have everyone getting off their stops one by one. There's slowly other seats opening up to make everyone not so squished together, but for some reason, people will still sit in the same seat as you, despite there being like 5 open seats near you. I don't know if this is just a me problem, but this is one of the most annoying things about people on the bus. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but move bro, I want my own space, and I'm sure you do too. Like, I'm all for good vibes, but please, I just want to be able to have a little more legroom for a few more minutes before I get off. This is why sitting in the window seat has a lot of pros, but you're also going to get squished the most whenever the whole bus gets crowded. But I need to ask, how dirty do those seats have to be from everyone constantly sitting on them? Like, there is no way these are cleaned often. I mean, no wonder people are always getting sick, because some of these seats will have straight up barnacles and all sorts of stuff. This is why personally, on days I had to take the bus, I'm not gonna lie, I would always be wearing jeans or any long pants because you never know, bro. And I am not trying to get whatever's on the seats on me. And it gets worse when you have a substitute bus driver who doesn't know the route and is missing all the stops. It's so awkward when your bus is already too chaotic and the sub has to deal with all the annoying kids in the back. I will always say sitting in the front or even a little in the middle was my go-to and the best spot in my opinion. Like, you don't have to worry about anybody being loud next to you, and it's so much easier to get off when it's your stop rather than being all the way in the back. It sucks being the very last stop though. Every day after school, I would look forward to crashing out on the game, only to have to wait on the bus for the next hour because the after school traffic was insane. It's one of the most annoying parts about being on the bus because you can't just go straight home unless you were one of the first stops, which in that case, I envy you. And don't even get me started on how long it took for school buses to leave the school. I get you gotta wait to give everyone time to get on, but if we get out of school at 3:10 and aren't actually leaving until 3:40, bro, my entire afternoon is just cooked now. I'm gonna get home at like 5 now because of all the traffic. It's such a mood killer after an 8-hour day. For people who never had to take the school bus, you are pretty lucky because some of the stuff that happens cannot be explained. And honestly, it's just not a fun experience. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I wished I lived a little closer to the school so I could have just rode my bike home and not have to deal with all the tomfoolery going on. I really don't understand how such a simple thing like a school bus brings out a different version of some people, and there's always going to be some new story happening on them for no reason. If you are going to start taking the school bus, good luck, bro. But if you think school buses are chaos, check out some more of these stories on Spotify, join my Discord, and subscribe for more. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.